Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Sleepout podcast. I'm your host Jay, and today I'm joined by my co-host Liam,
How's it going?
Finn,
Good afternoon.
and that's it.
Hi.
We're not joined by Will today, guys.
Hi.
And we're also joined by Will.
Hi guys.
He's
Um,
here.
So before we get into this episode, unfortunately we are having to record over Discord for maybe the next few episodes because we have been placed into a full country level 4 lockdown for coronavirus.
A little thing called Australian people traveling to New Zealand happened, and they decided to go for a bit of a
Australians.
fuck off. They decided to go for a
The
little.
Australian scum.
Someone, fucking hell! Someone decided to go for a wee meander around Auckland and spread COVID, and now there's
Coromandel?
and Coromandel and Wellington. Now there are
We don't talk about Coromandel.
31 cases in the country, so we're all stuck at home
Yeah,
for.
we're steadily going up 11 cases per day. We haven't had this much growth in the virus since the
pandemic
first major
began.
lockdown last year in March. And it's also the new Delta variant as well.
The
so-
new COVID 2. They released COVID 2. Anyway, yeah, so we are recording from home, which is why.
Yeah, which is why the audio might be a bit kind of shit, but
Yeah. We're doing our best.
It-
We're trying to get the content out to all of you.
No, we're not
Yeah.
doing our best. We're purposely being very bad.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
yeah.
Anyway, what are we talking about today? How's everyone's boring shit week been so far?
Yeah, how's everyone's lockdown been going so far?
Honestly, not that bad. Just been
Yeah.
jamming some Minecraft, playing a lot of GTA, going for
Yeah,
bike.
I mean, Will, you've been working a lot, eh? You just started work at Countdown.
Yeah.
Well,
Right, I mean,
yeah, I'm working a lot at Countdown. I'm trying to
I mean,
make money.
tell us about it. How is work? What's it like?
My feet hurt.
I
fair
that is
enough, man.
that
is
happens
true.
a lot. Will.
All
Your
right,
feet
that's
off
the
the
Will
mark.
segment, guys.
Yep, that's all we're gonna be talking
And Will's
about
gonna
with
shut
today.
up for the rest of the episode.
No.
I mean, I know Jay, you said before this episode you wanted to talk about some party stories, and I know last weekend before all this hit,
yeah, we can
we-
talk about.
we did
What
go
a
to a
great
cheeky
time to
little
talk
party
about the one
ourselves,
thing we
all
can't
four
do.
of us. Our good friend Luca, he hosted a birthday party for him and his twin sister's 17th. He rented out a big old hall. It was a really mean night. It closed down semi-early, but everyone just went off and continued having a great night.
Yeah.
And
So I mean, I guess we should do it in chronological order. Like we should start from the start of the.
Yeah,
we should
true.
start from actually a few days before the party.
oh.
Because of our special little surprise we got him.
I'll let Jay explain
so-
that one.
So basically, quite a while ago, I think it was like a few of us were sitting in our friend's house, and we decided what would be a great idea to all chip in and buy Luca a bottle of Hennessy for his birthday, because Hennessy is just epic cool drink, and it's really expensive. Excuse me, and but so. Let's fast forward like a few days before the party. We've all organized Hennessy. Our friend's dad's gonna buy the Hennessy for us. It comes to the day of the party. We go to the liquor store and there just is no Hennessy. Like,
It's
we're
sold out.
looking around
Either
everywhere.
some crazy Hennessy fiend on the island buying all these bottles, or
yeah, like, cause there was
just don't have
Hennessy,
it.
but it was all like the fucking $300 bottles and like love you, Luca, but we're not spending $300 on a bottle of alcohol. for you,
that
mate.
would have been a bit far.
I didn't spend
but-
anything.
Yeah, but you paid in
Yeah,
spirit.
but you
bro.
you paid in spirit, bro.
I peed in the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so we're like, okay, fuck, because it's a few hours before the party and we need to get this alcohol because everybody's already put in their money. So we turn around and what do we see but a nice big bottle of 1800 fucking tequila.
Costs about the same as
Which
what we
is
wanted
like-
to spend on the Hennessy, and
Yeah, so it's a $100 bottle of tequila. It's like premium, like fancy shit. And we're just like, okay, fuck it, let's just buy that. We buy it, and yeah, I mean, someone else can keep telling if they want.
so from then on we have this fucking amazing looking bottle of tequila. No tequila worm, which I learned is a horrifying thing. I'll more on that later. Take it
What?
into the Sleepout of all
Right,
places.
Finn, you might have to. You can't just bring up the tequila worm and not tell the
You have to
fucking
elaborate
listeners what it
on what
is.
If I search that up, will I get scarred?
No, okay, I'll
Yes.
explain what a tequila worm is. So tequila, The process of making
I'm searching it
tequila.
up.
Well, let me just explain it. The process of making tequila involves like crushing the fuck out of fibers that are taken out of cacti, and cacti. They're fucking weird plants. You can find some weird shit in them, and one of the things you can find buried in the trunk of a cactus is a worm, and it's this weird
Entities.
like, yeah, entity parasite looking bug thing that supposedly
Looks like your mum, basically.
they put it in. They leave it in expensive bottles of tequila, and supposedly it soaks up all this tequila. You get like 6, 7 shots of it just soaked into this worm, and then
Yeah,
you
and
just
then you eat it and you get really drunk.
you mung it back at the end of the night. You get super drunk. But the thing
You
is,
eat the worm?
you eat the worm, and I always thought this thing was like a little earthworm, like a little grub. I look it up; it's like an inch long.
It's
It's
so
got
gross.
like
It's full like a
legs.
fucking
It's so scary.
like larvae entity looking ass.
It's the
It
beast.
literally is like one of those massive grubs that Bear Grylls would eat.
Yeah.
I remember one time I grabbed a bunch of wood. It was like super rotten, and I was smashing it, and I got worms out of it, and I put them in a jar, and they melted.
how do
What?
they melt?
the
What the
fuck?
fuck? What kind of worms were you extracting, bro? What were these beings?
They were like they kind of look like tequila worms, but they were really, probably bigger. They were really fat and juicy. I
Ugh.
really
I
wanted to
mean-
eat them, but I didn't eat them. I put them in a jar, and
Yeah.
they sort of died and festered into a soup.
Sadly,
Oh.
we
should've
didn't get a
drank the
tequila worm in our tequila.
Anyway, so we
Absolute
have
rip-off.
continuing with the story of this tequila. So we have this tequila bottle in, of all places, the Sleepout. Oh, and it's the night. This is the day of the party. I come home from. I was out somewhere. I can't remember. I come home.
You were in Auckland, weren't you?
No. I was at work, and then I was picking up my mates from
Oh
town.
yeah, that's right.
So I come home from town. I got my mates in the back of the car that I've just picked up. I get into the Sleepout. This big fucking bottle of tequila is just sitting on the table. I walk in. I'm like, oh, that looks fucking mint. We grab this thing. And we start heading to this party. Liam and stuff go ahead. I am behind with some of my mates from over the ocean. We get to where the party was happening. We get dinner. We stock up. We get snacks. We get drinks, and we head in. And we just basically have. There were a lot of people there, but the space that we had rented, like that Luca had rented out, was huge. So it made us feel like small.
It was
But-
100 people at the peak.
Was there 100 people at the peak?
Yeah, it was 100
Holy
people.
shit.
Oh, what the fuck? I didn't know that.
Yeah. But then people that aren't
So-
invited start trying to come in, and Luca's dad, who's
Nah,
this...
that was way after the tequila, bro.
Oh yeah, of course. Tell the story of the
No,
surprise. shit.
okay. So basically, we're about 2 hours into this party. Like, everyone's like a bit drunk or high or whatever. Because it's a teenagers' party. Like, but fucking anyway. So we pull Luca aside and we're like, Luca, come outside. We've got a bit of a surprise for you, mate. And he's like, what? What is it? You have to tell me. And we're like, no, bro, it's a surprise. You have to come. And so we bring him outside because this hall is like right next to this public park, right? And so we get him. We all gather around a table, and we're looking like absolute fucking gremlins. It's like fucking 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night at this
we
point.
do look a bit like alky crackheads.
And we're like, fucking Luca, mate, we got you a surprise. And he's like, oh, yep. And we're like, we wanted to get you a little birthday present. And then we whip out the tequila. And he's just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, he was so excited. And the reaction just made it all worth it.
Yeah, when we pulled this thing out, his eyes just widened. He was like, holy shit, that is awesome.
Yeah.
And that night continued to be pretty fucking good. We all swigged back the tequila. By the end of the night, the bottle was drained. Of course. Party closed. Me and Jay left at about 11:30 along with a few of our other mates, and Liam, of course. We head to my mate Leon's place, we go in there, we sit around, we watch the movie Robots, which is one of the fucking best, like, animated movies of my childhood.
Yeah, Robots 2005, guys.
That's the one. We keep making jokes about how it's the average Amazon worker's day at work.
Yeah, we were literally just so fucking, like the majority of us were just so fucking high to the point where we were just joking about how Robots was set in Delaware.
I remember, yeah, I walked there with you guys, and then Jaden called me and he was like, where the fuck are you? So I was like, oh shit. I gotta go back. So then I run back, and then everyone was just standing outside the hall, and then there's 2 cop cars that were just constantly circling us for like
Oh yeah, I mean,
an
I guess we could
hour.
talk about the cop cars. Like,
They were just circling us for like a good hour, and then all like the fucking hood rats, every time they'd see the cop car, they just run. It's so funny.
It was
bro.
like it would come round, they would just disappear, then it would go off
Yeah.
down the road, and then it'd just be back
And
in a flash.
then they come straight back.
The entities, they only come when they are not being watched. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy, man.
it was a good night in the end.
I mean, I guess like continuing on this topic, we could just tell some more like fucked up party stories if we
Oh,
have any.
Jay, what about the story of the party in the White Axe?
Oh yeah. All right. So the party in the White Axe. So basically, it's last year. Lockdown's just ended, so of course everyone's just keen to party. Like, everyone's just in the absolute mood. And our fucking friend, it's his 18th birthday party. He's just turned 18 like a few days before this, and we're like, okay, let's go to his party. So, little detail about this. I didn't tell my mum that I was going to this party literally fucking 2 to 3 hours away from where we live. I just said that I was going to my friend's house in town, that I just was not. I mean, I did end up staying there at the end of the night, but like,
I mean,
I
it
was
was a
just
bit of a
not
process that
there.
got you there.
I was literally fucking like 2 hours out of Auckland, like in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. But anyway, so me and our friend Mateus, we fucking get in the car. For context, guys, Mateus doesn't like drink or smoke or anything.
He's just a good
So
dude.
he's innocent man. But so me and Mateus get in his dad's car, and he goes out, drives us out to the house that the party's at. We get out, we walk down into the house, and immediately everyone is already fucked. Like, there's drinks everywhere. Like, there's a guy that just has like fucking 2 ounces, like all grinded up, and he's just literally doing a rotate with a bong, literally just doing a rotation of every single person
Walking
at the
around
party.
just handing the shit out. I wasn't here,
Just-
but I've heard so many stories.
Yeah. So I immediately am like, yep, fuck yeah, I'm having a cone. So I fucking snap my cone, and then I proceed to in the next 10 minutes I have 3 cones.
Oh.
And at this point I'm a little toasty, right? Like, I'm not that high, but like I'm a little bit high. So I'm like, all right, it's time to start drinking. So I have a couple beers. I'm just chilling out, and I don't really like drinking that much, so I was just kind of sipping on my beers. And
taking the
then the cones just start getting given to me left, right, and center. So at this point, like, it's probably like around 9 o'clock, and I'm already had like fucking 10 cones. I'm unbelievably high. Cones is a bong for you American
A
cunts.
bowl, as you call it over there.
Yeah, but fucking anyway, so I've had like 10 cones. I'm chilling out, and I keep like falling asleep on the couch because I'm so high and I'm struggling to stay awake. And I keep falling asleep on the couch, but somehow whenever the bong comes like near me, I just sense it.
You just snap away.
It's like spider senses, but for weed. And and so I sense fucking I just keep sensing the bong coming, and I'm just having cone after cone after cone. Like, I don't even realize how much I'm smoking. Like, I'm smoking a fucking ridiculous amount. I've had like 25 cones at this point, maybe
That is
like
a lot.
maybe 4 or 5 beers, and I'm just chilling. I'm so fucked up. And then my mate, who was turning 18 and was hosting the party, comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, simply says 2 words: Jay. Car. And and I'm like, what do you mean? Because he was fucked up as well, and he was like, want to go for a drive? And I was like, oh, I don't know, bro, you're really drunk, like, I don't want to go in the car with you. And he's like, nah, my mate's sober, he'll take us for a drive. And I was immediately like, yup, I'm fucking in. I'm so keen, this is gonna be so fun. So me, Mateus, our other mate who was turning 18, and then his mate, all hop in this car, right? And we're like, all right, where should we go? And then we're like, all right, let's go to Bethel's Beach, which is like, this is important to the story, is around like 45 minutes away from where the party is, right?
45
So-
minutes? I thought it was like 10.
No, bro, no. So it's like 45 minutes away. So we start going, and we're going really fast. We're going like 150 to 180 Ks.
Holy shit.
Like, we're absolutely zooming. It's a 45-minute drive. We got there in 15 minutes. We
What
were
the
literally
fuck?
going so fast. We got there in half an hour less than time than we were supposed to. I
Drunk cunts and a
remember
sober
at one
driver.
point we were fucking driving up this hill going so fast, and we actually like went so fast that we got air at the top of the hill, and we were literally flying for like 3 seconds. And as soon as we landed, I was like, "Oh my god, I feel so sick." What happens when you're sick? You need to throw up. So I'm like, I really need to throw up. Like, fuck this. I'm like, pull over the car. I start fucking vomiting in the bush. My mate's like, "Oh, it's all good, man." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then in the meanwhile, while I'm throwing up, the driver is literally just doing donuts in this fucking intersection and like doing skids and shit. And then this cunt from like a house which was nearby just starts yelling at the top of his lungs. He's like, "You fucking hoodlums, get out of here with your bloody skids," and all this shit. And we're just like laughing our heads off. We hop back in the car and we just fucking boost it back to the party. And from
Get out of
there,
there.
from there I kind of just chilled out for the rest of the night. But I remember at the end of the night, my mum actually found out somehow that I was at the party. And she
How?
texted me and she's like, "Oh, I know you're at the party. I don't care, but I'm going to call you an Uber because you're on the other side of fucking Auckland." And I was like, "Okay." So she books us an Uber, and I just remember joking about how the fucking Uber driver looked like such a pedophile on his fucking picture.
Well, what a night that sounds like. If this lockdown continues, which I know it fucking probably will, we'll try and get we'll get our heads in the game more, and we'll be able to record better content than we are now. Liam, do you have any stories? Not just about parties or anything, just about like anything to talk about today?
Not really.
Yeah, no, this week's been pretty mundane, and it's kind of saddening.
I mean, I guess since we're in quarantine, we could talk about the fucking coronavirus.
Ugh, I mean, people are pretty sick
I
of hearing
feel
about
like
that.
enough people have already talked about the coronavirus.
No, I mean
True,
we
but-
may as well. It's something that is very key to us at the moment. We're stuck here. New Zealand. We've been lucky. We've been completely COVID case free, or so we thought.
We're over 100 days and without any community cases.
Yeah, we've done this twice now. We've been over 100 days in, and suddenly, bam, we've found like a cluster, and they've just kept testing more and more people and finding more and more cases, and it just spirals. And last time this happened, well, there was the big first outbreak, and then we cleared up. We had 100 days of like no cases, and then suddenly we had 3 weeks of lockdown. We're like, fuck, okay, and it wasn't
It was
that bad.
on the
It's-
100th day.
yeah, it
without-
was. Oh yeah, exactly on the 100th day actually.
Mhm.
And then after that ended, we were completely sweet for ages. We had a couple like week
And
long
then
lockdowns here and there.
motherfucking Delta had to come.
And then the Delta variant, which is like this fucking crazy COVID on crack. It's
Can you hear
twice
me?
twice as infectious as COVID, as regular COVID. It is the most infectious respiratory disease ever discovered, which is bad. It's really bad. So we're now stuck at home for between a week and like several years.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like, lockdown's shit, but at least we can fucking pump out content.
Yeah, we've just recently started a Minecraft server that,
They would be very good.
Yeah,
What
we're
was that, Will?
thinking of starting a Minecraft SMP.
yeah, the Sleepout SMP. We gotta build us a scale model of the Sleepout. And record it in
Yes,
there.
dude, we actually should do that.
Make a Minecraft set because we can't make a real set. That would be pretty neat.
Yeah,
I actually like that idea.
Yeah, we should.
we actually
totally
should
do that.
definitely do
That's
that.
actually-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play
Um,
Minecraft.
No, what are we most looking forward to once this lockdown's over?
Sex.
Well, I mean, it's looking like it's not gonna happen, but like, another thing that's really pissed me off about this
Sorry.
lockdown is fucking I was meant to be going to Rarotonga in 2 weeks,
Oh, right. Fuck
and that's
that.
a shame because that would have been such good stories for the podcast as well.
Rarotonga
Yeah, that's
is
so good. Where is
beautiful.
Rarotonga?
Rarotonga, it's about
It's
how
just like a Pacific island.
it's a
It's,
Pacific
it's like
island. How
3 hour
many?
flight.
Yeah, about. I went there a couple of years ago. It's beautiful. It's warm. It's like an atoll, so there's lagoons all around with like tropical fish. I went there. I got to
Yeah,
dive
it's
with like
fucking amazing,
big old
dude.
What about
marlin.
mosquitoes?
There are a lot of
Got mosquitoes
mosquitoes.
there. Yeah, okay, I wouldn't be happy living there.
You'll
I'm
get
just-
malaria, brother.
You
I'm
go
just
fucking
looking at
snorkeling, dude, and like it's like you're entering like another fucking world. Like you put your head under, then there's just immediately so many tropical fish and shit.
These turtles.
What
it's
about
crazy.
crazy.
seaweed? I'm really scared of sea. You know, like kelp, like how it's super dense.
Oh yeah, when you
Yeah.
can't see the rocks, that shit's buzzy.
That shit busting, man. That's
Yeah, I
just
feel like
scary.
there's gonna be like some fucking moray or some shit pop out at me.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna I feel like I'm gonna swim into the kelp and just never come back.
Sometimes when I'm
I
snorkeling and I'm
dived
around.
in
Oh,
some
sorry,
crazy
Liam, go.
places. I've dived in some really scary places.
Yeah, I mean Liam.
Oh, yeah, Liam
Tell
is a
some
spear
diving
diver.
stories, bro.
Liam knows the
Uh,
underneath of the ocean like the back of his own hand.
So, not too long ago, me, Jude, and Leo, we all went to Barrier, and the first day we get there, we swim out off this beach that we're staying pretty near to, and we swim straight up to this point, which is quite fucking far out, and there's like main visibility. There's quite a few fish, so we shoot quite a few fish, and then
Do they have
we move-
electricity in Rarotonga?
Yeah.
Okay,
then
cool.
we move into the.
It's not like a caveman society, Will.
That's immediately what I assumed.
And then we move into the inner side of this reef, but the viz there gets quite bad. And I say to Jude, we should probably head in now. Like we've got plenty of fish for today. And he's like, yo. And then, literally seconds after I say that, Leo pops his head out and goes, "There is a massive fucking shark." And I was like, oh shit. I had a feeling this was gonna happen because we're on fucking Barrier. I'm like, alright, all goods. Let's just start heading back now. It's probably just a bronzy. And then I look up and the shark is
Of course,
just
you would
fucking-
just run that way to a shark. Oh,
It's
good.
just it's just a
And then-
small shark.
I mean, you deal with them a lot while diving. You kind of have to get used to them. But
Yeah.
then
Oh, look at
I
you.
start swimming across this kind of gully, but the viz is like nothing. I can barely see anything. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of skits because I can't even see the shark at all.
Getting
And I
something
look
all
at the
kid, bro.
surface, and the shark is like going absolutely mental around our floats because that's where the fish were, and they were like, it was like thrashing and shit. And then Jude and Leo climb onto the rocks, and I swim across this gully, and then the shark gets all tangled up in my float line, and like has a full on hold on it, and that is connected to my gun. So I'm there tug of war with the shark over my gun.
That's sick.
Uh-oh.
Holy fuck.
Imagine if the
It's
shark
ti-
had got the gun, bro. Would have shot
I
you.
can feel it.
Do you end up finding out what type of shark it was?
It was I'm pretty sure it was a bronze whaler.
No,
just
you
an
should say
angry
great
one.
lights. That sounds cool.
I'm fighting this bronzy for my fucking gun. So then I have to reach down and unclip my float line from my gun so I don't lose it. But Jude and Leo are freaking out because they can't see me. And they
Oh.
think they thought that the shark had stolen my spare gun and I had chased after it to go get my spare gun back,
They just expect that
Which-
of you.
which I would have done. I mean, it's a good spare gun. I wasn't gonna lose that shit. And then
Arm before spear gun.
then they spot me because I'm waving my spare gun in the air to show them where I am. And Leo swims over and grabs my float because the shark is gone, and it's literally just the float and then about an inch of rope out of a 30-meter float line where you can see it's just been bitten off.
Oh Jesus.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
That's
like,
fucking gangster.
did it
that
take all
that
your
reminds
catch?
me like
Yeah, it
you
took
find
all-
like a lot of like always like spear fishermen and fishermen are always saying how sharks like aren't as dangerous as like
You think?
you think and stuff,
Sharks
which is true. Like they're
Pretty fucking
most
scary.
they're scary, but like they're mostly not that dangerous. But what that story reminded me of, Liam, of was that video on YouTube of that guy that fucking catches the world record tuna on a Hawaiian
Oh,
sling
yeah.
and then fights off 3
What's a
sharks, and it
Hawaiian
shows a
sling?
very
So,
it's like a type of spear gun, isn't it?
so a Hawaiian sling is a type of spearfishing, but it's like this small handheld spear, which is just doesn't have a mechanism or anything. Like you don't load it, and so it doesn't have as much power, and it doesn't have like any range really.
Yeah.
Right.
Um, so it's this handheld spear, and it's just this rubber band really that you just stretch up, and then you hold it, and then when you let go, the spear gets like flung off. And this guy shot the world record tuna, with one of them,
Oh.
and then all these sharks start like charging him, trying to take the tuna,
Was he
he's the-
underwater or?
and he's
The
there
reason-
holding the tuna and
Yeah.
stabbing the sharks with his knife, and while
Oh,
swimming.
Yeah, it was so funny. But the reason why your story reminded me that of that, Liam, is because like you said that you were playing tug of war, and it's like you're more worried about your spear gun than your life type thing. And it reminds me because he's legit full like chunk bitten out of his fucking leg by a shark, and he's like, nah, this is my tuna, cunts. Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
know if I
no,
was in that situation, I would have just
You
given
gotta
them
be
the
the
tuna.
Sigma, bro. No matter. I'm
Shut
joking.
up.
Another
That
time,
video sucks though. His friend was such a ratchet cunt. He didn't even help him until fucking ages, eh?
yeah, but another thing is my first ever time going diving with my new spear gun. When I first got a spear gun, I went on my first ever dive with it, shot my first ever fish, and that got eaten by a shark as well. And that was
Aw,
That's
your
so
first
shit.
ever fish got eaten by a
Yeah,
shark.
and that
Imagine
was
how
like,
disappointing that would be.
yeah, I was so stoked. No idea, I was so fucking stoked. And I start swimming back, and I was diving with this guy who's really good at diving,
What?
and he was just like, and I was like, I think there's a shark. And he was like, oh yeah, shit.
Oh,
And then, yeah, got my fish stolen. It was ratchet as.
Damn, bro.
that would be a good like thrown in at the deep end kind of.
Yeah.
I want to
spear
try
fishing,
fucking
though.
spearfishing. It looks fun as.
Over the summer, we should all go if we're fucking out of
Oh, yeah.
lockdown. I don't want to
I'll
think about
take
lockdown being until summer.
I'll take all you cunts diving in summer on my boat.
Hell yeah. I
Yo,
just really hope we can
dang.
go to Barrier. Like, we may have talked about this on the podcast before, but
Nah, I don't think we have. You,
Oh, yeah.
you tell.
so us and a group of our friends, we have plans in October to fly and boat out to this island called Great Barrier Island, which is it's a ways off. It's a few hours off by sea and about 30-40 minutes by plane. And it's just this like I've only ever been there once, so I don't know how to describe it as well, but it's just this beautiful island in the middle of the ocean. Very bushy, very Kiwi. A lot of hippies live there. And it's just like a kind of getaway spot. We're
Yeah,
gonna go stay
it'll
there,
be
we're gonna go
so
camp.
annoying if fucking lockdown stops us from going to Barrier,
Yeah.
bro. It's already stopped me from going to bloody Rarotonga.
That sucks. That's gotta be like the most disappointing.
But with the Barrier trip, guys, you'll be getting some content because we'll be able to tell heaps of stories from it on the podcast, and also we're
hoping-
planning on doing like an IRL video there.
We're hoping to film just a little bit of video to edit up and put out on the channel. The main thing that comes after that will be what I hope to be the Barrier mega episode. Will be either one by one or all at once, which will be chaos.
All at
Interview-
once would. I don't think we can do all at
Yeah,
once because
but
there's
we'll
like 10
interview-
people coming. It won't work.
We'll get interviews and stories from everyone that's coming over.
Will, you've been quiet, mate.
Hey,
Got anything to talk about, bro?
I play Minecraft.
Stop
You're-
playing fucking
I'm
Minecraft.
like a
cunt.
good. Oh!
Why can't he
I was
play
building a
Minecraft?
house in like what's it called? You know, like a ravine. There's a
Alright, fair
ravine and a
enough. At least
cave
it gives
there,
you something to
and
talk about.
I was building my house like diagonal bridge,
Actually,
which is
That's
actually
all-
my nickname in high school, Diagonal Bridge. But
actually speaking
and
of
so
which,
I was building the house, and there's so I walked along the thing, and there was like a little pool, and they had plants growing on the side, and I went to cut down some trees so I could keep building the bridge, but I was on half heart and I forgot, so
died.
a zombie killed me. Yeah,
What were you gonna say, Finn?
Actually,
I'm gay.
for those that have been playing, hold on,
Minecraft, lucky good,
For
G.
those that have been playing Minecraft for a while, you'll know that if you ever play even either single player or like on a big old server with your mates, you always have to build. If you're on like a long survival world, you always have to build a big old base to kind of keep all your shit. And I wanted to tell a story about Will, seeing as you mentioned that you're building in a ravine. A while ago, this was before lockdown. This was a couple of years ago. Oh, about a year and a half ago now. Oh no, it was about 2 years ago now. Sorry. I was on a Minecraft realm with a few of my close friends from Christchurch. We had a few of my friends from Auckland. Just
Was
a
I
good-
on that realm?
I think you were. But you didn't play very often. But
Yeah.
I was exploring in the early days of the world, and I come across this ravine, and I'm like, ooh, this looks cool. So I save the coordinates, and then I leave it for probably 2 weeks. I collect a fuck ton of glass, and I come back, and I use about 7 to 8 stacks of glass to just cover the top of this ravine. And from then
Yeah.
on, I just like ripped all of the walls out. I built an automatic sorting system. I built
Hey,
like
did you make the ravine your base?
yeah, I made a ravine base. So I built a bridge going all the way
That's
around
fucking
it, and then
sick.
one of my favorite parts of this base was I divided up the floor into 7 sections, and I made 7 different mini biomes inside this ravine. And it was
Yo.
one of the coolest, like, it's my proudest moment. It's the only good personality trait that I had was my Minecraft ravine base.
This is off topic as fuck, but we should totally make a tree house after lockdown.
Oh, recording the treehouse episode.
That would actually be so sick. We should actually do that.
I have
Yeah,
a
I know,
treehouse at my house that I really like. It's got like a lot of carvings in the
Yeah,
wall.
your tree house is awesome.
My sister, when we were younger, she drew a picture of a crab and then drew an arrow pointing to it and said that, and then drew my name, so it was saying that the crab was me, and I cried.
Oh. That is true.
You
That is
fucking pussy.
true horror being called a crab.
It's actually such a good insult. You fucking crab.
Will, no, stop being a crab. Actually, Will, speaking of the treehouse and your sister, do you want to tell us about the time that she broke your arm?
Oh, it's a little more complicated than that.
Okay, we'll go.
Alright, tell
I
us, dude.
So the treehouse that I was just talking about is pretty sick, right? It's like basically a house, and there's like a balcony with a hand railing on it. We used to stand on the hand railing and leap off and land on the tramp, and just get like launched super high. But one time I stood up on the hand railing and I get up, I stand up on the hand railing with my 2 feet. I'm standing there like a man about to commit suicide, and then she comes up behind me, and I'm getting ready to jump. I'm planning it so I land and don't fucking snap in half and kill myself. And she just shoves me, but she shoves my leg, so I fall all funny like, and I land with one of the springs. It goes in between my legs and sort of like crunches and pinches my
Ow.
nuts, and then my face slams into the middle part of the tramp and like rebounds off, and then I have like a cut in my forehead and I'm bleeding, bleeding profusely, and
Breeding profusely. Submissive and breedable, bro.
and I fall and then I fall off. So yeah, I got painful nuts and painful face. Not fun.
Damn, bro.
I always thought that you broke your leg on that story. I don't know why. It's just
I've never broken
not
a
your
single
leg,
bone in
your
my whole life.
you
Same,
haven't broken
bro.
a bone.
Yeah, I haven't
Never.
broken it either.
Lucky. Holy shit.
Well, my bones are really strong.
I
I
mean,
drink a lot of
I've-
milk.
I thought that you hadn't ever broken a bone, Finn.
No, I've broken 2 bones. So the first bone that I broke was possibly both the bones that I've broken have been so stupid. I've broken my pinky finger and my middle finger. My
Oh,
middle finger.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, but let me tell the stories of this. So my middle finger I broke when I was like 6. My nan had just come over to visit from England, and she was on her way. We were taking her to the airport to fly back to England, and I was on the boat home, having just dropped her off, and I was a little kid. I was like, ooh, it'd be funny if I bounce up and down and put my hand on my seat at the same time. And I do this, and then I go up, and my middle finger's sticking up, and I just sit down hard on my middle finger, bend it all the way back to my wrist, and snap it.
I thought you were gonna say it went all the way up my asshole.
Oh! Anyway,
Immediately what I was thinking, it all went my bum.
so I snap my finger from sitting on it, and it hurt, and it's a stupid story. The second broken finger story that I have is so shit and boring. I fell over in a car park, and that's literally all I did, and it's just snapped my pinky finger.
I like the
Yes,
idea
dude.
that you fell over and just landed on your hand and that was it.
Snap.
But there wasn't even
You were
anything
just
in the way to make you trip.
you didn't
You were
even
just
it
walking
didn't
on
even
perfectly.
hurt. You were just like, ow.
No, that's the thing.
And-
It hurt. I don't know. As you said, Will, I didn't trip on anything. I just tripped over my own foot and landed on my pinky and broke it. And then,
Yeah, dude.
What the
That
fuck?
you're just normally walking on a perfectly flat, safe surface. You just suddenly instantly faceplant.
and anyway, my pinky's a bit munted, and I stand up, and I'm just like, oh, that kind of hurts. And proceed to walk like 2 kilometers home, and I get to my mum's work where I'm going, and I walk in and I was like, oh, I kind of fucked my finger. I fell over and like it hurts quite a lot. My mum's like, fuck, we'll take you to the doctor because at this point it's swollen like a prune. It looks like a sausage. We go into the like the to get it x-rayed, and they're like, yeah, you fully fractured your finger. I'm like, how? I tripped over on a concrete car park.
Yeah.
Carpet.
Not
I
carpet.
swear that shit always happens
A
when you're a
concrete
kid. You
carpet.
just like get the most like retarded injuries.
As a kid, I mean, we were all covered in scars, and half of them are just from being a kid and running into walls and shit. Just hanging out, bouncing off.
I've
the
done
corners
that
of
many
chairs.
times, being at restaurants and just running straight into a window.
But I've done
Yeah.
that. Nah, this one time I was on holiday and we were
You're
staying.
so
at
quiet, Liam.
Nah, he's
We
fine.
were staying at this holiday home, and I wake up. No, we just got there, and I was like so fucking tired, and I make myself like a fucking boiling hot tea, and I go to walk outside to like kind of watch the sunset, and then there's this sliding door which I don't realize is there because it's so clean
Oh
that
no.
it just looks like nothing's there, and I was tired, so I'm like barely got my eyes open. I walk bang straight into this fucking window and pour boiling water or boiling tea all
Oh. It's like a turn on. At least you didn't break the window. Holy shit.
and I was just in like agonizing pain on the floor.
Get wrecked, dude.
I got destroyed. It woke me up though.
Get hashtag owned.
Yeah.
My nan did the same when she was staying here. She walked into the sliding glass door of my kitchen. Luckily, it didn't break because I've heard some horror stories of people that have had like their legs sliced off and shit.
Oh,
When you
fuck?
break it.
What?
Ow!
I don't know. It's just the fragments of glass. You trip over.
Is
and
that
you
glass the fucking Excalibur? How does it cut their leg
It's
off?
the Giza glass, brother.
Imagine if you walked out and your nan was comfortable with no legs.
You walk into your kitchen, your sliding glass door is broken, and someone's just in half on the floor.
Perfectly
Actually,
sliced.
speaking of which, it's a bit off.
Speaking of being in half.
No, yes, exactly. Actually,
Oh,
What?
it's a bit of a crazy story. So, I go traveling a lot. I mentioned it in the last episode. I was in Sri Lanka this time. This was 2014, I believe.
years ago.
Yonks ago. I was pretty young. I was there with my mum and my grandparents.
Yonks ago,
and we
mate.
decided we were staying in this lovely like fucking village up in. It's called like Ella or something. It's this village up in the
Called
mountains.
Chaparut.
And there's a train line that runs between there and the neighboring town. It's 10 kilometers. And one day we decide, fuck it, let's walk along this active train line. Don't know what we were thinking. There were
Starters.
tunnels and there were bridges where there was barely space for you to stand. And while we're going on this walk, we come across. I look ahead and it looks like there's a sausage lying on the rail line. I'm like, what the fuck
Oh.
is that? I get up there
It was
Oh,
a
no.
penis.
and there is half of a viper that had just been sliced in
Oh,
half by a
I
train.
thought you were gonna say like an arm or a
No,
Yeah,
no, no,
same.
that
I
would
thought
be
it was gonna be
Half
a
of a
finger.
what?
Of a viper, like the snake. There's just half a
Oh.
snake sitting there. It's the tail end. But
Bro,
you
I
can
thought you
tell
were
from the
gonna say you
markings.
found a person cut in half on the
No.
railway. And I was like, how
Yeah,
have
yeah.
you even told us this?
That would have been far worse. I have a lot of stories that I haven't told from traveling. This same walk, about an hour on after seeing this like cut in half snake, we get to this like viaduct bridge over like a river, and we have to walk across it, knowing full well that if a train comes, there's like half a meter of
We're
room for
dead.
us to stand. We could have, no, we would have made it across. Me and my mum start walking across along with my nan and my granddad. We get to the other side, we look back, and my nan and my granddad are still on about halfway over because they're like taking in the view, taking it slow. And then we look across to the other side of the bridge, and there's a passenger train coming. And
Oh, what the fuck?
we weren't walking in the middle of the rail line. We were walking on the footpath, like the kind of walkway next to it. And we call it out to my grandparents, and they're like, fuck. They see it, and you can just see the shock on their face. So they cling onto this railing, and they lean over the side of the bridge. Their legs are on the bridge, their bodies aren't. They're fully out, like 60 feet above the ground. This train, with all these like Sri Lankan dudes in it, just comes whirling past across the bridge. One of them tried to give me a high five out of the window. It didn't work, because I was like 2 foot tall. The train passes, and my grandparents just look up, and they look like they've just seen, like, an entire world war within, like, 3 seconds. Because they just had this train, this massive hunk of steel go past them, like, 60 k's an hour while they're trapped on a bridge.
Yeah.
And they walk along, and they're like, holy shit.
We're going home.
We're going home. And then we walk home. The rest of that walk was kind of uneventful. There was a couple scary moments when we were walking through tunnels, and we were in
There's
the
a couple
middle
of corpses.
I mean, if a train had come along while we were in this tunnel, we would have just been squished. There was no room for us, but we made it through somehow.
Have
That
you
is
guys seen those videos on YouTube of people that fucking go in like the train tunnels and they're super deep in, and then like a massive steam train comes?
That would be like one of the most gruesome ways
bussin'.
to die.
I saw this video, and this guy is like him and his mate are biking down like an active railway tunnel for some reason. And they're like almost at the end, and then a train comes going full speed, and then they have to jump like out of the way and jump off their bikes to get out of the way, and the bikes just get fully crushed, and they literally got like a centimeter.
Is that the
of
one on the
room, and they're just
motorbikes?
Nah, they're just on normal
Oh.
bikes.
I saw one with
Oh, sorry.
they were zooming along on motorbikes, and he just put like the train was going, and he fell to the side, and the train was about to crash the motorbike, and he just pulled it out like last second.
So, like, we're playing GTA, and then your mum came and was like, "Go to bed." And you're like, "Okay."
It's like,
Yeah.
You sounded so soul destroyed. You already were mumbling, barely making sense, and then she yelled, and you just, "Okay."
I mean, that is
My
one of the
mum-
highlights of that is one of the kind of the good points of lockdown. Is just being able to sit around till like 4 in the morning jamming video games.
Except in my house, my parents like fucking right, you little cunt. You better fucking go to bed, or I'm gonna fucking put you out to get eaten by the dogs.
Oh
Mum
my
always- Your
god.
mum's always so nice to me at countdown.
Yeah, she's always so nice to me when she gives me a lift home, and then I hear her come in while you're on fucking voice chat, and she's just like, "Get in bed."
Shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
Oh, imagine when we can do fan mail videos.
Oh, can you get someone to send us out?
Oh.
That would be so cool. Like,
Surely
would send
you
us like
guys
send us like
fan
condoms
mail.
and shit. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, our address
Why would you
is-
send us like a
drugs
bomb?
and shit.
Send us
They'll
drugs.
send us like a bomb or anthrax or something.
we get mail bombed.
Send us mustard
Probably.
gas.
Send us money, brother.
Yeah, send us anthrax.
We like money.
We like
We're
anthrax.
the most responsible YouTubers ever.
Please,
Send us anthrax.
Send us
Who
highly.
really wants anthrax?
Send us
Well, if we make
anti-
If
them-
you send us one of your loved one's ashes, I will snort it and then stick it up my bum on the camera.
Well, how
Yeah.
how do you make anthrax?
Yeah, you just jimmy around a couple Zimmeramadoos and
You're-
fucking
you-
Zimmy Whammy
you're-
Kamalama, and you're ready to go, mate.
Oh my god.
Schwumble wumble.
You Schwumble Wumble or Wimble Cumble and
Oh,
Single Wumble.
speaking of
Wumble.
lockdown, like,
Yeah.
if anyone, what we could talk about is like if anyone has crazy stories from
I
last
died.
lockdown.
Like, what did everyone get up to in the first lockdown? How did you guys pass the time?
I mean, I just got really stoned.
That's a simple way to answer it. I got out on my bike a lot. I used to just go, like, because the roads were so empty where we live, I just jump on my bike, blast music through my speaker, and just go fucking riding like 5-10 Ks a day. And I've been doing that again this lockdown as well, which has been really nice. But
Dude, I was a full functional weed addict in the first lockdown. I literally smoked weed like all the time. I just was so stoned the whole time, and I just played video games until like 4 a.m. It was great.
lockdown changes people. I've just become a fucking like.
I swear, I just become such a gremlin as soon
Yeah,
as
same.
lockdown's announced.
living in my room, only wearing my pajamas. Someone will come in, I'll be like, the
And-
light.
Yeah.
I mean, today I went out. Me and my mum took a cheeky stroll down the road, and we sat on a bench far away from everyone in the bush, and just had She had a beer, I had a Coke. A line of Coke, not a can.
Yeah,
Um,
obviously.
Yeah, you know.
We endorse cocaine use.
We do not.
I do.
We just sat there. We had a chat about how we're both feeling, and it's kind of good to get that kind of support through lockdown. Because although it's fun to stay up till 4 in the morning, fucking around playing video games, it is also quite hard being at home 24/7. I'm slowly losing my mind, as you can tell from my incoherent
Yeah.
rambling.
Dude, surely it's not a fucking like 3-4 weeker.
I don't want it to be, but
I
it's
feel
not
like it
looking
might
good.
be really long though, eh?
If it is, I might just work for like the entire thing every single day and just destroy myself mentally and physically.
But have heaps
make-
of money.
I mean, you destroy yourself mentally and physically, but you're not destroying your bank account, mate.
Exactly, mate.
I wish I love my
Mate.
job, but I need money, brother.
I just want to grind the fuck out of YouTube, dude.
Yeah, same. YouTube and playing Minecraft is just all I want to like sink my time into, and go biking.
Yeah, dude.
I might just start like a massive pyramid scheme.
Start a
Yeah.
multi-level marketing scheme, sell people nothing on the internet in exchange for 400 Bitcoin.
Yes.
Start
Please.
start a canned air business. Just be like, yeah, brother, I sell canned air. And you send them empty tin
And
cans, and they
farts.
pay you in
Uh,
Ethereum.
I'll give you 10,000 things of canned air if you give me 10 Bitcoin.
It's like 800k. Where are you gonna get 10,000
Easy
empty
exchanges,
cans from?
bro.
your
I can do it
bum?
in my room.
I mean,
Like
this
Government.
this will still be released. I'll probably leave this bit in. You can tell that we are fucking losing.
What are
our
you guys
minds being
talking about?
Stuck inside. How shit it
can
is
just-
being stuck inside.
We can just. Yeah, the thing is it's kind of funny just us having this fucking retarded rambling.
This is good content for people that are in the same position as us.
Talking about the fucking like how world and how shit it is. Surely like some cool shit happens, like aliens come.
Aliens come, or like I wanna.
I'm so bored of like disease. I want some cool shit like aliens to destroy.
Yeah, but if
it.
aliens come, we might fucking die.
We might
Who
get more
cares, dude?
disease
At
from
least
them.
it's better than fucking.
You know what I
dying
really
slowly
want?
From
You know what I
climate
really
change
want?
and COVID. Oh, dude, I
Gaming.
hate the one thing I hate about lockdown though is all those Karens that fucking like abuse you for not wearing a mask.
I got hollered at yesterday by the
What?
same person that hollered at Jade.
Just
no,
wear a mask, Jade. It's not that...
no, but
Well,
this
No,
is,
hard.
not when I'm no, but like when you're riding a bike and shit.
yeah, you're allowed to.
Alright,
I
yeah.
feel like exercising while wearing a mask is hard, and like props to people that do.
And you also don't actually have to. Like legally,
that
you're not
hard.
meant. Legally, you don't have to.
Yeah, anyway, I was biking along. I didn't have my mask on. I had actually had my mask on like 5 minutes ago. I took it off because I was fucking riding up the steep ass hill and I was sweating. And then someone runs past me and they're like, "Where's your mask?" And I'm like,
Up your bum.
"I'm sorry, I don't have it on right now." I'm fucking
Yeah,
like
some
dying
lady
of
had a
exhaustion.
go at me the other day because I was biking along without a mask, and I was like, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, but you are allowed to bike without a mask." And she was like, "I don't care. Be COVID safe. You should actually go home right now." And I was like, "Fucking hell, bro. Just mind your own business."
I will say the COVID restrictions here, despite the fact that the restrictions are
Not that
harsh,
bad.
they're not that bad. Like, you still get to go out and do exercise as long as you stay the fuck away from people. You get to, like, people that aren't essential work get paid for the work they're missing out on, and people that are essential work make fucking bank because they have nothing better to do but
I get
work.
10% more.
Do
Hey.
you?
Yeah.
Lucky, I
to-
want to
Than
be
I
an
usually
essential
would.
worker.
I need to get a job
Yeah,
working
that's
where you
funny.
are.
I honestly thought I
Do
was
we get
gonna
10%
encounter
more?
a heap soon. I think so. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what
Oh.
Tina was walking around telling everybody about.
Fucking no, if I'm gonna get paid even more next week, gosh.
I know, dude. It's awesome.
Collecting the stacks.
Yeah,
We
paid
made it
like
to an hour.
470, now I'm gonna get paid like,
Jesus, that was a rough hour.
Should we wrap her up?
yeah.
So, I mean, we're getting close to the end of what our mental states can handle for recording, but what's everyone's plans after we finish, after I hit end record? What are we all going to go do?
I mean, I'm probably gonna go try and get Minecraft to work on my computer.
I was just about to say, I'm just going to jump on Minecraft, I'm going to grind out the world that I'm working on. I'm going to build my
Yeah,
house,
I mean,
finally.
we'll probably start recording.
Wait, Finn, join.
Minecraft soon.
I'll join after we finish recording.
Okay, because I'm building everyone's built these super fancy, like these houses that the people have built in this realm are insane. But I'm just
Yeah.
building a ginormous dirt cube.
Have you seen my tree? Have you seen? No.
Oh.
What the fuck is that, Will?
What?
Dirt cube
It's my house.
in the middle of all our houses.
Yeah, I want to live with you guys.
Surely don't build a dirt cube.
No, Will isn't the master builder, bro.
Will's entitled to his dirt cube, Liam.
Right,
Liam-
should we wrap it up, guys?
Liam, what are you getting up to after this episode?
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft.
All
Okay.
of us are just
After this podcast,
guys.
I'm gonna go have sex with your mom.
Oh no.
Oh.
Anyway,
You know,
we're off.
So I mean, like, before we wrap up the podcast, sorry, like, this episode is a bit shit.
It's disjointed. The audio
I
quality's
know
not great.
we were kind of just rambling on, but like, to be fair, we
Nah,
are
bro,
in
all the
quarantine.
tea.
We're just doing our best, man.
This is the best we can do, and I'm
we
sorry.
know
for
it's
this.
easy,
We're
man.
thinking of doing an extra podcast next week, maybe, because
It's a lockdown special episode.
there's literally nothing else to do. So
May as well
we'll
pump out what
next
we can.
episode we'll have more shit to talk about, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm sure lots of interesting stuff will happen across the week we're at home.
Hopefully.
Anyway, Jay, I'll let you bring us home.
Yeah, I mean, this has been the
Thanks for watching, guys.
this has
I
been the
really
first
appreciate it.
quarantine episode.
Send me money if you want to send
And
it.
the third official episode.
PO box.
Yeah. No, so this has been the third episode. I'm sorry, like, it was kind of shit. I know we were a bit rambly and stuff, but we're just doing our best. But yeah, I mean, the plans for this lockdown is to record some Minecraft content. We're still going to be releasing a podcast every week. We might release an extra one as like a lockdown special thing, maybe with a guest. Ooh, special
Ooh,
guest.
2 videos in 1 week. Ooh.
It's your mom.
Yeah, it's your mum. But yeah, I mean, that's about it.
Thank you for listening,
just-
guys.
Thank you for listening, guys. Bye.